just leave your phone, your laptop, your work aside and be there, for that half an hour. I would rather play on a rug with my kids than cleaning the kitchen. So delegate the task as well. All right. Spend time with your family. Ask a cleaner to come in to clean your house. I love cooking. If you don't like cooking, just get a cook who can cook for you. So you need to set your priorities right. My priority for me is my family and my business. Everything else works around it. So you need to don't chase after the balance. Don't go after the perfection. My life is chaotic. With you saying having so many things in my hand, it's chaotic. But my life, I think, is perfect in its own imperfect way.
Sometimes life can feel a bit like that, can't it? Perfect in its own imperfect way. Hello and welcome to So You Want to Start a Business, the podcast where we interview business owners, entrepreneurs and other smart guests so we can learn their tips, tactics and strategies. I'm your host, Ingrid Thompson, and it's my absolute pleasure to bring you these interviews. Every guest has a unique perspective on business and today is no exception. That voice you just heard is the one and only Dr. Sonia, who is an exceptional woman. I've had the pleasure of knowing Dr. Sonia for a number of years, and she is a dentist, a wife, a mother, an entrepreneur, and so much more. In this episode, we cover all our regular questions and topics, and a couple of extras as well, which is why Dr. Sonia is explaining her perspective of work-life balance, a completely unique view. Dr. Sonia also tells us how she copes with the competition in an extremely competitive dental marketplace and other business startup challenges that she's faced. Dr. Sonia deeply cares for her patients, and we talk about how nervous patients can deal with going to the dentist. So that's an added bonus for anyone who's feeling nervous about being at the dentist. So are you ready to listen to what Dr. Sonia has to say about business startups? Let's go. Hello, and here we are today with Dr. Sonia. Hello, Sonia.
Hello, Ingrid. How are you?
Lovely. Nice to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, Dr. Sonia, tell us, what business are you in? What is your business?
I'm a dental practitioner, and I have dental surgery, so I work as a dentist.
You work as a dentist and you have a number of practices,
Yes,
don't
I have
you?
3 practices.
You have 3?
Yes, I do.
So when did you start your first business?
I started in December 2013. That was my first practice ever I bought. So yeah, I started then.
And why did you start your own business?
I used to work in a corporate, and it was good. I was making heaps of money, so that was not an issue. But the way I wanted to treat patients and the way I wanted patients or clients to feel, or the quality of the service I wanted to provide, it was a little bit impossible in the corporate world because I wasn't the owner, so I wasn't the decision maker. So that's why I was pregnant, I took maternity leave, and those 3 months sort of gave me a chance to think. And then when my daughter was 3.5 months old, I decided to buy a practice.
As you do.
Yeah, as you do.
As you do. And so what did you actually want that business to give you from the start? So part of it was being able to make your own decisions about how patients were treated. But was there anything else you wanted the business to give you?
One was, as you said, the freedom to make the decision, the way we provide the services. The second thing was to change the dentistry, to change the way people feel about the dentist or the dentistry. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to be pain on the hip pocket either. So I wanted to change that part of the dentistry. And I'm on the way, and I'm determined that I'll change it one day.
Yeah, I think you are indeed.
Thank you.
So when did you realise that the business was real? When did it feel like, man, this is a business?
Oh, well before I actually got the keys for the business.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you know, to buy a dental practice, you have to have, the accountants, lawyers and everything. And I had no idea. I probably didn't do my homework, so I had no idea. So as soon as I said, yes, I'll buy the practice, they said, bang, 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 you need these things. And I had to pay accountant, I had to pay lawyers. It's like coming up with that money straight up. Because yes, bank help you, and that's one part about the health practitioners, that the bank support you, but they won't support you until the deal is done. So you have to come up with this 20-30 grand somehow within like 10 days. And I was on maternity leave. So I had a little bit of a saving, but my husband supported me as well. He's always been a rock next to me. So he supported me as well. But yes, like the day I said yes to the business, that's when I felt, oh God, I'm in business. Yes.
You're in business.
Yes.
So I normally ask a question here about how do you know customers wanted what your business was offering. So how did you know that there was a need for a dental practice, that this is what the customers want, that people do want to come to a dental practice?
Like, as I said, I was working in corporate, so patients were coming. I will say that, my room was my room. I was providing quality service and everything, and people were coming in. So the business is viable. Like a dental practice is viable, but there was this gap. There was this gap in connection between the dentist and between the service and between that patient. And I thought if I could fill that gap, I could sit anywhere. Like, if you know my practice, on the same road, I have 5 to 6 dental practices, but there is no competition. You are in a competition until you think you're in a competition. The day you decide you're different, you're providing a different kind of service, you have a different kind of clientele, you're in a different business altogether. Yeah.
And so what led you to believe that somebody was looking, that there were patients looking for that difference?
Just by listening to them. I just sat there, like when I bought my practice in grade, it was only open half day a month. And trust me, every single person in the world said, don't buy it. And I don't know what came over me, probably maternity leave, but I bought that practice. So I had pretty much 6 patients a month. So I would spend 3 hours with one patient, just sitting there listening what they want, what they need, why they left the previous dentist, what's missing. And from there started listening, educating them, changing my own way of practice as well. It's just changed everything for me, and that's what I think was missing in that part of the area in dentistry.
Yeah, so having the time to really listen to what everybody was looking for, and so then being able to provide that to the rest of when you had more than 6 people.
Yeah, and be open to your team as well. Like sometimes my team will come to me and they will say, hey, this patient said that, or sometimes my assistant in the room will say, I don't think so, that worked well. So, and you have to be open to that if you really want to bring a change in the world. So listen to every single person. You don't have to accept every opinion, but listen to it. Maybe, it will change something. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now a money question, and you've already mentioned that as soon as you signed the paperwork that everybody put their hand out and wanted some of the money, but you've bought other practices, and how do you fund? You don't need to tell us the nitty-gritty detail, but what principle do you use to fund growth?
Whatever profit comes into my practice, my business goes back to my practice. Plus, my husband, I take a loan from him, so it's more like a never returning loan.
That's kind of handy.
Yes, but yes, he's there. Like whenever I look at a business and I think, yes, we can work with that and we can sort of grow it, I go to him and I ask for his suggestion. And when he says, yes, I think that should be fine, I just go for it. So my earnings, my profit of the business, and if I need more, then his help, and that's what goes into the business. That's how I fund it. So ask for help, ask for money if you really need it.
But the principle is that the money being made in the business is being returned to the
Yes,
business.
you have to make money. Like I love dentistry. That's my passion, serving people, helping people. But you need to make money.
Yeah.
You can't help anyone sitting on the side of the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. So, Sonia, how do you find new customers? How do you know who they are and where they are? How do you find them?
Out of 10 people who walk through the door, 10 will say to us, I hate dentists. So they're everywhere. No one loves coming to the dentist, maybe 2 in my whole professional career. They get excited coming to the dentist, but they're everywhere. So our niche is people who are anxious, people who haven't been to the dentist or they're too scared. We market to them. I have a fantastic marketing manager who pretty much took my practice where it is now at the moment, and he looks after the digital details of it. But I think they're everywhere. I'll repeat it again. You just need to listen to your customers. They're everywhere. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, you said that there's 5 or 6 other dental practices around you, so it would be very easy for people to go to anybody.
Yes.
How do you decide on a pricing strategy? Because price is often something that people make decisions on, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And we are in a time zone or in circumstances where money is important, and I think there is a little bit of insecurity job wise and money wise everywhere, so we are quite sensitive to price as well. And I have done it in the start where I competed on the price, but not anymore. It's if you're compromising on price, you're compromising on quality somewhere. You have to, if you're in a business and you're making money. So now we don't compete on price. If a customer is coming to you because you're providing a deal, they'll go next door, when the other person is providing a deal. So I would rather spend my money somewhere else, or just see 5 customers a day, quality customer, than seeing 10 people with a deal. So yes, we do research the market a little bit, check what other practices are offering, but that's not our main point. We don't compete on price at all. Yeah.
Thank you. So, exit strategy. It's not even 5 years since you bought your first practice. You've already got 2 others. Have you thought about an exit? You don't have to tell us what it is, but have you given that some thought?
Yes, I have. Like I didn't in the start. I was like gung-ho and was thinking, no, this is what it is, and I might retire as a dentist, but I will always be the part of the business and as a passive income, and that's still my plan is. But in the recent times, the other practices I have bought, the dentist retired early because of the health issues. And you always have to have that strategy in mind. You never know what's going to happen to you, all right? So you have to have that plan that if you have to come out, then your business is ready to sell. And I usually walk into my surgery and sit in the waiting room and then sometime observe and look and then see that if I have to buy this surgery today, what price will I give? And I am a little bit more business savvy now, I think. So I will also make bullet points thinking that what will be the point I will be looking as a buyer if I have to buy this practice. And that's what is changing the way I design my practice. That is changing the way I market my practice. That is changing the way I hire my team or the system and the processes. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at system and processes, but I'm working really hard on making sure that everything is like laid right on the table. Yes.
And so your exit strategy is something you're thinking about as
yes I
you're
will
aware
probably
of.
Yes, I will probably have maybe more businesses, maybe more dental practices, but my I'm ever changing, and that's one thing with me that I change my plans like every year or every 2 years. So the plan is yes, to own more practices, to own more businesses. It doesn't have to be the dental practice, but I will probably be always a passive income earner. I'm still not sure that selling everything is in my exit strategy, but yes, I will be a passive income earner.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds good. Yes. So what is the one thing, if you think back to 2003, what's the one thing you wish you'd done differently at the beginning?
Staff hiring. I probably would have either gone to someone who was more experienced in it, or probably would have listened to people's ideas or their suggestions a little bit more openly. I handpicked someone, and I thought that they were the best one for my business, and because that was the only thing I knew. So I should have gone to more people and asked about their experience and taken more things into account. Numbers, I was just too much into business and do this and put everything in there, and then realized, 6 months or a year later, or I'm not making any money. But because I was putting everything back into the business as well, so probably the numbers as well, I would have gone to someone who knew the number from the start rather than 6 months or 9 months later. So yeah,
Those numbers are important.
yes, very
sure are.
important.
So this is a slightly different question. What do you wish you'd known from the start? If somebody could have told you something, or if somebody had given you a piece of guidance, so when you said you would have liked to have gone and spoken to some other people, what might you have learned from them that you had to find out for yourself?
As a business owner, again, I'll go back to financials, that you need to have the basic knowledge of profit and loss and numbers, and what numbers to look at, like, every month, what numbers to look at. As a business owner and as a person who is working in the business, you get too busy. You get too caught up with things. So you should have like a very simplified structure or a day that where you go and it's like, I need to know these 3 numbers. Tell me these 3 numbers. So that would be one thing I would have learned and taken into account from the start. Even if I had to do like a little bit of a coaching or a course or whatever, I don't like numbers. I'm very good at maths, but this profit and loss doesn't sit well with me. My husband is very good at it, but I would have made the effort to go and learn about it because I'm a business owner, and I think that's the most important thing in the business if you're running a business, not a hobby.
Yeah, I remember some years ago hearing Steve Baxter talking to a group of young people at River Labs starting tech businesses, and he said, if you don't understand it, go and buy yourself Accounting 101 and find out.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's important.
It is. So you've mentioned your husband and you have mentioned a terrific marketing person, but who is of greatest assistance to you and your business? So who are the people, and you could either name names or just in general, who has been of assistance along the way?
So with every business, you have to have, I think, 2 kind of support. One is a psychological support team, all right, and the second one you have to have is the person who are technically very good in the business, skill-wise, knowledge-wise, and everything. So my psychological support always been my husband, and I'll mention you as well, Ingrid. Where sometimes you just need to get it out, and I think you were also the person at those times where you just like pick up the phone and just listen to what I have to say. It's like I'm just offloading it, that's it. And the technical and the skill wise, my whole team, marketing wise, my marketing manager Raj, he's fantastic. I have seen him working day and night behind this business. My business is partly because of him as well, where it is on the digital world, and that's how I find customers. Like my new patient rate is 4 times the normal, and it's just because of his effort. Then my lovely little sister Suman, she is an engineer by the background, and she had no knowledge of dentistry, but the day 21st December 2013 I opened my practice, she was there with mop and broom, and she is still there. So doesn't matter, 6 o'clock in the morning I can knock on her door and say, hey, get ready, I know it's your day off, but my DA is sick and you're working with me. And I have never heard no as an answer, not in last 3.5 years. And then my team, like my manager came, my dental assistant Scalar, and people who are not with us today, they have made the practice better in some ways as well. Either it's positive that they left and gave me the feedback that this is the reason we are leaving, and because we're not getting that, so we worked on that and we made sure that it's a good environment and culture for the team. People who were not so good taught me about HR, fair work, hiring, firing, and a lot of other things as well. So, every single person who has touched me during those time has made a difference for me. And I'm thankful to every single person who is still there or who was there at some stage in the journey.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you.
Who can give you good feedback? And you've kind of answered that now,
Yes.
haven't you? You really take feedback from everybody that's
Yes.
around you.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good point
Yeah.
to make. So someone comes along to you and says, so Dr. Sonia, I'm thinking about starting my own business. What would you say to them?
Do it. Go, take the risk, do it. I'm a risk taker. Even if you say to me today, this is the idea of the business, and if I have the gut feeling and I think this will work, I'll just drop everything and will go behind it. So take the risk, do it, but do your homework as well, and it's sheer hard work. Nothing will replace it. You have to work really, really hard, day and night, 24/7. So if you're not ready for it, then go and choose something else, work for someone. That business might not be the thing for you.
Thank you. That's
Yes.
terrific.
Yes.
Yeah, do it, but
Yes,
think
be
about
ready.
it.
Yeah, be ready for failures, be ready for hard work, be ready for, touch the sky as well. Who knows? You might leave a legacy behind. All right, a small idea might ignite minds around the world. Who knows?
Who knows indeed.
Yes.
So when you think of yourself, what are the 3 characteristics about you that make you successful, Sonia?
I'll say first one is risk taking. As I said, I can take risk, and sometimes I don't even think twice. If it's the gut feeling and I think it's gonna work, sometimes even if 10 people say it's not gonna work, I'll do it. The second one is learning, the constant learning, and that learning is business, about the team, personal growth, about health, about world, anything. Learning, I have that hunger for learning that people sometimes, like as a dentist, we only need to do 60 CPD point in 3 years. I'm well above 1,000. All right, so
Wow.
and it's just dentistry. I do like communication, business, and other seminars as well. So that hunger never satisfies. So learning will be the second thing, and third thing I'll say is the stubbornness. I'm very stubborn. My dad used to say that you're a bull. Once you dig your heels, good luck to the other people. So, and this could be a bad thing as well, that sometime I don't give up, but I have achieved great things where I was on the edge of breaking down, but the only thing which helped me was that I didn't give up. I didn't give up. And it's like, hang in there. When everyone says, oh my God, that's the end, just hang in there one more minute and you will get it. You will achieve it. So, yeah.
And I think, it's hard to know where that hanging in minute is, isn't it?
Yes. And your mind, your body, everything. And I think when the mind gives up, body gives up. So your mind, body, probably people around you will say as well, just give up. But that there is just that one more minute there, and that's where you find success.
Yeah. So your 3 is always learning, risk taker,
And stubbornness.
And stubbornness. Oh, lovely. So if a person starting a business has those characteristics, is there anything else that they would need as well? Do you think, for our listeners, people listening, they're thinking, well, I'm not a huge risk taker and I do like to learn, or is there other characteristics?
So work, do your homework. That will be another thing. Hard work. There are no shortcuts in business. There are no shortcuts. If you take shortcuts, your business is going to suffer. There are no, people nowadays, there's so many programs. It's like you'll be this in 30 days, you'll make millions in 30 days. Doesn't work. All right.
Say that again, please, Sonia.
Yeah, it doesn't work. And I think one of the things John said, like on your podcast, is like that overnight success, how long it takes, 10 years. And he's absolutely right. You know, it takes 10 years. That's minimum 10 years for that overnight success and to become that overnight star. Yeah. So calculate your 10 years.
And
Yes.
you'll be there.
You'll be there. Yes.
Sonia, thank you so much. I think you and I could chat for quite a lot longer.
Yes.
But is there anything else you'd like to say to our listeners who are thinking about starting a business before we say goodbye?
I'll repeat the same thing that, one is do it. Don't wait for it. I wish I would have started when I was 25. I actually did start. My first clinic was when I was 24 and a half. Take the risk, go after it, go for it. Second is find your support system. You need to have a support system. You can't do it alone. Family, especially women in business, you need to have a support system. So find your support system who can support you. It can be anyone. It can be anyone. It doesn't have to be your family member or your husband. Get them on board. Tell them that that's what you want to achieve and that's what you want to do. Share your dreams and believe in yourself. You're gonna fall, all right? That's destiny. But believe in yourself, believe in magic, and you'll make it happen.
That's lovely. And Sonia, would you mind just sharing a little bit, and this is completely not one of my ever questions, is how can someone who is maybe listening and they know you're a dentist and they're thinking, maybe I need to go to the dentist, but they have that fear. What do you say to people who feel fearful of the dentist? How do you help them?
Just find someone who will listen to you. All right, just ring up, go there, feel it, and you will feel it. When someone is nervous or anxious, your senses are heightened. All right, even like a pin drop is a huge noise. All right, so go there, sit there, talk to them, let them know that I'm nervous. What I usually do is whenever someone rings one of our practices, and the girls will check it on the phone as well, and you will know it on the phone as well. The minute you ring, you'll know if that is the practice for you or not. All right, if they're taking time to listen to your concern, just tell them that I'm really nervous. All right, I don't like going into the surgeries and things like that. So we will meet you outside. We'll meet you on a coffee shop. Sometime I have gone to the coffee shop next door and just sat there with the patient and talked to them. You need to trust that person. The only thing which has made a difference for my patients, who I saw 3 years ago wouldn't even enter the surgery, and now they're coming to me regularly, is just because they trust me. All right, so build that trust with that person, and then you'll be fine.
Thanks. So Sonia, there's another question that I'd like to ask you for everybody listening, is that you're a woman, you're a business owner, you have multiple practices, you're a wife to a gorgeous man, you're a mother of 2 small children, you've got family commitments, you're involved with dentistry associations and dentistry groups. How do you do everything?
Very nice but very complicated question, Ingrid. People do ask me all the time that where is your work and life balance? And I usually, ask the question back again is there any balance, or is it all a myth? Because, balance means you're not moving ahead. Balance means you're still. So probably, maybe the balance is not a good thing. And trust me, I seriously haven't figured it out yet. All right, but I am, and especially initially in the business, yes, doing all those things was a little bit crazy. But as I have said it before, is the support system. You need to have a support system. I have mentor, I have family support, I have friend support, I have an incredible team which works with me. So I have a very good support system with me, and I think after 3.5 years now I am getting hang of it. Now I am, since last probably 6 months, I'm enjoying business, I'm enjoying my life as well. People think that you need to, as a mother, you need to spend maximum time with your children. I don't think so. I think even if you're there for half an hour, just leave your phone, your laptop, your work aside and be there, for that half an hour. I would rather play on a rug with my kids than cleaning the kitchen. So delegate the task as well. All right. Spend time with your family. Ask a cleaner to come in to clean your house. I love cooking. If you don't like cooking, just get a cook who can cook for you. So you need to set your priorities right. My priority for me is my family and my business. Everything else works around it. So you need to don't chase after the balance. Don't go after the perfection. My life is chaotic. With you saying having so many things in my hand, it's chaotic. But my life, I think, is perfect in its own imperfect way. I spend time and weekend with my kids, and I spend most of my week in business. Some week I work around 50 hours a week or 60 or 70 hours a week. But I'm still content. I go to gym, I run, I exercise, I look after my health, I look after my kids, my family, I cook. Every night I go home after work and I cook. So you have to be happy with what you do. And I think that's where you find that peace. The peace is not in balance. Peace is be happy in your own chaotic life. Be happy what you want to do. And that's my passion. My passion is my work. My passion is my family. My passion is cooking. People ask me, how can you cook? You reach at 9 o'clock in the night and how can you cook? That's my therapy. I do. My kids will be waiting. They want to eat cupcakes. I can't say no to them. But when you see them happy, yeah. So, don't chase after perfection. Don't chase after balance. And trust me, I have days where, I'm out there working and, talking to people and on the Facebook, in the community group and conquering the world. And there will be a day where I can't even conquer a grocery list. I have to go to Coles or Woolies 3 times because I forgot something. So, and it's normal. It's normal. I think every person has that capability. And I was, an ordinary person does extraordinary things. I used to be a very, very much of a normal kind of person. But those little extraordinary things which pushes you and you come out of your box, that's what makes you special. That's what people ask me, where do you get this energy from? And it's like, I love myself. I'm in love with myself. I like to be on the go all the time. And it's just, be with the kids. I dance with my kids at 10 o'clock in the night. Who cares? That's the time I get with them.
Yeah. And they're children who they're happy to be awake at that time. And I think, Sonia, too, what you're talking about there is the fact that it's different for everybody as well. So what works for you doesn't necessarily work for somebody else. And
will work for someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so
and that's what I'm saying. Like, find your own balance.
I think
Don't think that, one person, if they can do 10 things, you can do 10 things as well.
Yeah. But maybe they're different things. So you love cooking. Maybe someone else loves gardening or, singing or, what is that thing? So there has to be joy and passion, doesn't there?
Yes, that's what, like, I absolutely hate cleaning. Like, I will have a wonderful, good week. And then if someone will ask me to do the dishes, it will just ruin the whole week for me.
Yeah.
So I can't do it.
Yeah.
So the deal between me and my sister is that I'll cook and she'll clean.
There you go.
Yeah. So, that's like delegate things. If you don't like something, just don't do it.
Yeah. Have someone
just
else
don't,
do
absolutely
it.
don't. Do something else which you love. And you'll contribute to, your life and everyone else's life as well. So I don't think so. Don't chase any balance or any perfection. Just be happy in the moment.
And I think that's such an important point you say about if you are spending half an hour with someone, whether that's children or your husband or a patient or a client, you're fully cognizant that is absolutely focused. Yeah, that you're not doing 6 things at the same time, that it absolutely, because it's the quality of that is the intensity that then allows for, maybe less time. It doesn't have to be half an hour, it could be whatever it is, that they feel that they are the focus of attention rather than just filling in for something else. Yeah. So
yes, and I think for you as well, like, once you finish a task properly, even if it's like, playing with the kids, you know that you finished that part of your role. So then you're more focused on another thing. You're more happy. You're not just thinking that, oh, that half an hour I should have spent with kids properly rather than looking at my phone.
And the thing is, the children
Doesn't
want their
work.
own time anyway. They're happy to go off and do other things as well. They've got their lives, haven't they?
Oh, yes. Yeah, they tell me, my girls tell me, Barbie is not for me because I'm a grown-up. So I can't play Barbie with them. Yeah.
On that happy note,
Yes.
Barbie's not for them, they're grown-ups. And she's how old?
Yes. She's 4-year-old.
She's 4 years old, a 4-year-old grown-up.
Yes.
There you go. Sonia, thank you so much again for your time today, your wisdom, for sharing your story, for answering questions, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Ingrid.
How terrific is this interview with Dr. Sonia? There's just so much wisdom here, isn't there? You may want to go back and listen to some parts of it again. Thanks for listening, and if you're thinking about starting your own business, I've written a book called So You Want to Start a Business, and you can grab a generous excerpt over at www.soyouwanttostartabusiness.com.au. Put in your name and your email, and I'll send you an excerpt of that book. As always, you can find full transcripts of all the podcasts over on my website, healthynumbers.com.au. Links and show notes. Remember, ideas without action, well, they're just that. They're ideas. So what action are you inspired to take today? Thanks for listening.